ArtFoamy Fun Friday on Thursday. Okay, we are live, and so I know that we're running a couple minutes late, and I don't also know how many people are going to join us because it's going to probably take them a couple minutes to find us. I know everybody is really used to ArtFoamy Fun Friday, and it's Thursday, so it might be a little slow out the gate, but here we are. I'm with my dear friend Elizabeth St. Hilaire, and we are so excited to be here sharing her new free range chickens and hens and rooster sets. Yeah, that's what we named them. Anyway, we do have a few people joining us that found us now, so yay, welcome to Art Foamy Fun Friday on Thursday, and I'll explain more about that later. But for now, I would love to welcome my friend Elizabeth St. Hilaire with her chickens.
Hi,
Beth,
KP. Thanks for having me. I'm excited to be here, and I'm thrilled with the way the chickens came out.
I know, gosh, I am too. They are super fun. I love it too because they really, and I'm so bummed because I meant to pull out your peacock set too, because do you realize how fun some of these pieces are with your peacock set?
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, they are. They're, as a matter of fact, I've noticed a lot of people ordering the peacock pieces along with these. So they already had that idea.
Yeah. So let me just stop for 1 second. I want to welcome everybody. And I want to just say, yes, we are having Art Foamy Fun Friday on Thursday. And the reason for that is because, of course, I could not pass up having Elizabeth join us. I really, really, we always love getting, well, I can speak for myself saying I always love getting together with Elizabeth. And
I,
ha-
oh,
yes, and I'm just so sad it can't be in person soon again, hopefully. But we are having Art Foamy Fun Friday on Thursday today because actually I'm supposed to start my staycation. And I still wanted to be here with you, Elizabeth. And so I just want to let everybody who is watching know that there will not be Art Foamy Fun Friday tomorrow. It's today, right now. And the reason we had to do this today is because Elizabeth's leaving town. So, right? Aren't you going? You're going somewhere fantastic again, right, Elizabeth?
yes, I'm going to Italy tomorrow morning.
Oh my.
My flight's at 8, and my luggage is half packed. And I see that you're wearing the T-shirt that you bought when we met. How fun
Yes,
is
this
that?
is. I wore this especially. I think I might have worn it last time we were live too, but I wanted to be able to tell everybody how we met and also remember this fun night. Oh my gosh, it's so long ago already now.
It was 2018.
Yes, it was so. This shirt, in case anybody's wondering, is Bon Bon Vivant. It is such a cool band from New Orleans, and we, Elizabeth and I, met at the Golden Artist Educator Training in New Orleans in October of 2018, and we sort of bonded over these shirts.
We did.
Do you still have yours?
I do. Yeah,
Yeah.
I should have worn it. I didn't
Yes.
even think about it. You're two steps ahead of me.
Anyway, I don't want to stop really quickly and just say hello to everyone. Patty Hodder is here. Joni is here. Joanne, Sue, Mary Lynn, Cecilia, Ashley, Sally Ann, Sue, Ellen Byrne is here. Oh my gosh, we have a great group. Eileen Donnelly is here from Vancouver, Canada. Deb Peak is here. Wendy, Laurel. So we have a lot of, and I think we're still going to have people coming in, just finding us a little bit late. Jeannie is here. So
Is that my Laurel? Is that my Laurel?
I
How?
don't, it might be our Laurel, but I'm not sure it could be your Laurel. It's Laurel. I don't know how to say your last name, Laurel. Rizzo.
Razoo. That's my
Rizzo.
Laurel.
It is
Yes.
your
All
Laurel.
right.
And
That's my Laurel.
yeah,
You can
it is.
have her. You can
Oh,
share
we'll
her with me,
share.
but
We're
that's my
sharing your
Laurel.
Laurel. Anyway, Phyllis
Yes.
is here, and Ginger, and I'm pretty sure this is your Ginger too. And Patty Euler is here. So Patty, look
Oh,
at Patty
Patty
Euler.
Mueller. Oh my
Yes.
goodness. Big hugs to Patty.
Yes, it's the Bon Bon Vivant girls. So so Patty Euler was with us too. So for those of you who know the Queen's Ink, I hope that you do. Patty has your art foamies as well. and has carried your ArtFoamies and your stamps all these times. And I know you've been at Patty's multiple times to teach. And so we're super excited that you're here, Patty. Wendy Moore
Yes,
is here. So Wendy Moore says, I'm working and watching at the same time. Stop all that
yes,
working. Anyway,
yes. She's always multitasking. So,
so
hey, I know you said you wanted to bring out the peacocks.
you were so good. Look how good you.
I just put them here so everyone could see that this was the first set of pieces and parts that you and I worked on together, and the whole concept of making it up out of separate pieces so the pieces could be used as separate elements in addition to together. They can be their own things and they can be used
Yeah.
to make collage paper. So this was our first concept with that. And it was really well received and so much fun to work on. And so that's what brought us to the stuff that we're doing today.
And yes, our free range chicken set, which we had a lot of fun naming that too.
We did. It was inspired. My brother and his kids are raising chickens, and we never had chickens, but we are from New England. But my brother, he researched it. He's a mechanical engineer, and he built this giant, like 5-star chicken coop. And they have the chickens, and they're running around the yard, and the kids are getting the eggs and everything. And so it's been fun watching the kids grow up with the chickens the last few years. So that was a little bit behind this too, because my nephews, all 3 of them, are interested in art, and I thought this would be a fun project. So
Well, it is. I saw your pictures when you went to visit, and I remember you telling me that you wanted to. I remember when we first started talking about this. So it's really fun to see it go from, hey, I visited my brother and saw, my nephews, whatever, with the chickens, and then see the pictures and talk about it. And then I believe you said, like, wouldn't it be fun to do some chickens in pieces and parts, kind of like the peacock? So of course, whatever you want to do pretty much, because I love all your stuff, and the peacocks were amazing, still are. Oh, in fact, you know what? I got a piece of art I wanted to show you from the peacocks that I actually made for you, but I have not sent it yet. But while we're talking about it, let me grab it and share it.
well, look what I have. I have art made from the peacocks that you already sent me, which is one of my favorite things, especially with all this overlapping.
Ooh, I
This
forgot that.
overlapping with the rice paper and the translucency of a lot of this rice paper stuff is a lot of fun.
Yes, so we could do the same exact thing. So I don't know how many people here watching, remember remember that video and the launch. The same technique could be done with these chickens, and it would be so cute. But of course, we do have new and different makeys to share with you this evening.
We
So
do, yes, we do. But yeah,
I want to show
definitely
you
these
this.
techniques could also be done. I love that piece.
So I did this for you, but I haven't sent it to you yet. So I didn't know
Oh
if you ever got
my
to see it finished.
God, look at the shine on that. Is it resin?
Yeah, and it's like I triple coated it because I put stuff in between each layer. So that was super fun. And I have to
Oh,
be honest,
wow.
this is actually like one of my most successful resin pieces, because resin is kind of tricky, like a lot of times
Yeah.
I've done a few and you get bubbles, or just, I don't know, it can be a little bit ornery. But I was very excited about this piece, and I'm glad that you pulled that other piece out and this, so you can see just what a
Yeah.
different look you'll get. Anyway,
That is beautiful. I love that resin. I know why you haven't sent it to me yet, because you're holding it.
I'm still enjoying it. No, I'm kidding. I just, listen,
Yes.
I'm terrible about mailing stuff sometimes, and I shouldn't say that. Not your orders, of course. But gifts, it's just hard sometimes. Anyway, so we're here for chickens, and I'm so excited for Elizabeth to be sharing some of her stuff that she has created with these chickens. If you want to show what you've made, Elizabeth, then I'll just talk about, I'll be able to say the names. I also want to let everybody know that we are running a Labor Day special. So the code is LD22. So L as in labor, D as in day, and the number 22 for 2022, but it is 20% off. So I know that Elizabeth was running a special, but this way, if anybody missed it, then you can go ahead and still save yourself 20%. And that's on artfoamies.com for all Art Foamies stamps, okay?
Including the peacocks?
Including the peacocks and your new chicken stuff. So just as a little bonus for everybody since it is Labor Day weekend, right? I also want to
Yeah.
stop for a second and say hi to Zandra and Kathy and Diana and Jan. So welcome and thanks for joining us. All right.
Yeah. Yay, yay. Well, do you want me to share the
Yeah,
stuff that
share
I made?
away. And
Okay,
I'll
okay.
go,
So I'm
we'll
just so
talk. And
excited about these.
yeah.
So these I stamped on gel prints. So and I left them loose here because you can glue them down in art journals or on cards or on card blanks. You could put them on something like this and with the big chicken and move them around. I thought this would be kind of fun, especially a lot of the times people ask me, what am I going to do with all these gel prints, And the paper from the gel prints, I think when you print on them and you get like this kind of variegated pattern, whether it's dots or stripes or whatever, it just looks really cool to print on them and glue them down into a lot of different applications. So I use two different ways to print them. You'll notice that some of them are lighter than others. So I used a black stamp pad for the dark ones. And I think that worked out really good on the gel prints because a really nice dark solid line is good to go over any kind of patterned paper. So I think that these ones that I did with the stamp pad are a little easier to see, like those, and I think this one, But then I did them with graphite, water soluble graphite, which is something you taught me, KP, and that's this Lyra
Yeah.
water soluble graphite
Yes.
pencil. And I've been spraying it with this. I don't know if you have one of these, but this is the real fine, ultra fine mister.
So no, I just have a little, my regular little spray bottle, but it is more of a mist. It's not really a spray bottle. But yeah,
Okay.
that's what I would recommend is something that mists, not really sprays. Also, I want to I don't know if like you probably already know this, but I'm just saying it for everybody. These come in different, hardnesses. So like this 9B is super, super dark. 6B, like 6B and 9B are more what I like. And the 9B, let's see, this is a 6B. So let's see.
I think mine is a 2B that I was using,
A
so
two,
it could
okay.
be darker.
Yeah, so you might like it. I can't remember. I feel like this is a 6, but it's okay. Anyway, one of the things I like about these is that the sides are like flat and it's nice and big and bold. So you just spritz it a little with your water and then, rub that Lyra right across. If you have a 2, it's going to be a little lighter. A 6 will be more medium, and then the 9 will be really, really dark. And you know what? I'm going to grab my printmaking paper. I don't want to use watercolor paper for this right here.
So yeah, the nice thing about that is I made a little bit of a mess. You kind of get it on your fingers and you might end up with some fingerprints because I'm kind of messy like that. But because it's graphite, I just
Oops.
took out my kneaded rubber eraser and I was able to clean up all the little extra marks that I didn't want off my white paper
Nice.
with the eraser, which was really nice.
Yeah. Well, I just got mine was way too squishy. You can see, and I don't know, maybe after it dries, a little bit of eraser would work, but I did get it really dark, so that's okay.
And the neat thing about it being water soluble is that after it dries, you could also come in with a brush and smudge it and soften it edges if you wanted to. So, the idea of like softening maybe some of the dots inside or giving it a drop shadow by blending it. It's kind of neat because unlike the stamp pad, it's water soluble. So you can go in there with a brush and kind of move it around after the fact. Yeah. So but I really like the way they look. Let's see. I have another couple of samples that I made. And on this one, here I did the chicken with
I love
pieces,
that so much. Ah,
right? It came out
yes.
really. So that's the same thing as those chicks, only the I left these loose just so you could see that you could put them kind of in a bunch of different places. But I glued these together, and I this is the pieces and parts, the big ones where all the pieces are separate. So I'm pretty sure everybody's seen these, but we'll just show them anyway. So like the the rooster, he comes with the tail
So
and a
when you're doing,
head.
Elizabeth, when you're doing that, I'm going to pull this out and just show one of these samples. So I pull them out at the same time that you're showing because they're in color. So
Okay.
yeah,
So
so
here's
you're on
this,
the rooster. So you got the the body.
and the feet. So you got the body and the head and the feet and the wing. Is that the right wing? No, that's the chicken's wing. No. Yes. It's like a
No, here.
puzzle.
So and I will tell you, let me just stop you for a second because it is confusing sometimes, but we did make whole chickens. They're a little smaller. Okay. So this is very helpful. Of course, if you don't have them, you can always look at the pictures on the website, or, just samples that we share, but this will help you determine the parts. Okay. So we do have the chicken and the rooster in a full, in not parts. It's just all one piece in a smaller little, and it's not a set, but in smaller art foamies. So that will kind of help you too, because I couldn't remember which feet went with which. So that will help you determine that too.
So yeah, so the pieces and parts. So that's the way that worked, and the chicken's the same. And then that way you can, like I did with the little peeps, I stamped each piece of this on gel printed paper, or like I did this one on an old addressed envelope. And for these, I used the water soluble graphite. So you can see it's kind of got this sort of gray kind of mottled tone. It's lighter in some areas and darker in others, and I really like the way that lends to like a hand done kind of feeling.
Mm-hmm.
So I just stamped each piece separate on gel printed papers, and glued it down together using my little one here as, like KP said, as a guide to make sure I got it together right. And then I did the same thing with the chicken, and I did this on like an old page from a sheet music book, and then the other gel printed papers. So those came out. I love the way the each piece and part came out. And then so I just wanted to show also with that, let's see, I stamped them just straight up with KP stamp pads, but with the pieces and parts, you can add different ink color to every
Oh, I
part.
love it. Scoot it over to the right a little bit.
So
There, a little more to the right. Beautiful. Oh, I love that. So cute.
yeah, so this is fun. And I just use a stamp pad for this, but you can use, and KP will get into all the different ways that she uses to stamp. But there's the chicken, and here's the rooster, and just with stamp pads, and that's so fun just on its own. And then the little ones, the small ones that are all together, I had a lot of fun with those. Check this out.
Oh,
I made a bunch of cards, and
oh.
these are craft blanks that I got from Amazon. And then I went in with the chalk markers, and let me move these. And I added color. You could also use like Posca pens. But these are those chalk markers, so they're vibrant and they're opaque. And then here's the rooster, and then the other rooster. And am I lined up?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Sort of.
Yeah, no, it's
And I did these also with the water soluble graphite. So it's got this great kind of grayish tone that I think goes really well with all the bright colored markers, and just adding color in some places. So that's the small ones for card making, and it's just super fun. And then adding the little baby chicks to it too. So
oh, that is just, they're so cute. I love just the contrast of the dark whatever. Did you just use black, or did you use the Lyra? Oh, yeah.
I use the Lyra, and it's a 2B, so it's kind of a light medium, I would say, but
Uh-huh.
it's just really a nice, like you said, a nice gray neutral,
Yeah.
and all the colors look,
Mm-hmm.
any color combo you put with it looks good. Um, so yeah, these were super fun. I love making cards. So I'll sit here and make a pile of these and then save them, and then I send them out for all occasions. So.
Okay, well, you know my address, and I want that collage chicken.
Oh yeah,
I
the
was
collage
like,
chicken. Well,
I'm not proud. I'll say, can I have that piece of art? I was like, please collage your chicken. I love it. It's so cute. Oh, go over to the right a little. Perfect.
okay. So yeah, this I did in a similar way in terms of this is the pieces and parts one. So what I did was I stamped each one of these sections. No, let me take that back. I stamped the whole thing in blue um, as a base, like this,
Oh,
right?
okay.
So I just stamped it all in blue, which was kind of neat, the variation in that. And I stamped the whole thing in blue, and then I came in and I glued my gel printed collage paper on top.
So it's
So I
like your
used,
painted paper technique, right?
yeah, this is my torn paper collage technique, and I filled it in. So I basically used this as my drawing and my base, and
Yes.
then I tore and put it in here.
See?
And then I used the rooster wing, and I got this idea from UKP. I used the rooster wing separate piece to create that background. I had a little bit of fingerprints and stuff that I couldn't get off. And I thought, well, I'm just going to camouflage it in there with this. So, but that's the neat thing about the pieces and parts. I mean, you could fill it in with that thing
Well, I love this.
or
I want to show you this
this.
talking, but I was dying. I want you to know I've been sort of dying for you to try your special technique, your painted paper technique on top of these art foamies as your base layer. Sort of even I think some of your large birds from your first collection would be amazing. I've always wanted to try it, but I just haven't got there yet. But I was like, please try it. And I think you thought it was too small, but I think it looks, maybe it's too small because it was a pain in the butt, but it looks great. It is so, I love it.
Well, thanks. Yeah, it wasn't too bad with the big one. Um and the big birds that we did, this is an example of one of them. We did a whole set of 10-inch bird foam stamps with branches, right? And those were a lot of fun to use as the base. Like here's the flowered branch for the bird, and we used those for a class that I did, but these are 10 inches, so they're easier.
Yeah.
But that that it was fine. This little guy, she was a lot of fun to collage, but these guys too, this was the idea behind that, was that we created these big 10-inch bird and branch sets for to be the base of collage, and then that was sort of the idea for this one. So
You were so good about having all your stamps right there. I'd be like, oh gosh, I can't find them anywhere.
I have a drawer right next to me. That was not pre-planned. It was just sort of a serendipitous situation. So don't feel bad.
Okay, good. But you found your peacocks real fast too. I was like, oh gosh, if I'm not
Yeah,
prepared,
I
to get it.
I did, and look, I kept them on a thing so I can bring them back in. Look at that.
So this, just like such, look how cute this little, I just had to show this because I just thought it was so
Oh,
cool.
I
Um,
love that.
so you can
I
use your
love that.
pieces and
That's
parts, you
it's
know,
such a nice example that you're using the one piece, the chickens. What do
comb.
they call that? The comb, right?
Yeah.
And made it into a poppy or a flower. It's wonderful.
Just so simple.
Really.
And, why not have some of these other little things at your fingertips since you're already, you already have the stamp set, right? So just, I love looking at the pieces and parts in different ways. And I just thought I would just do that real quick with my little Derwent stick and, yeah, and a brush.
This could make this one could make a fun flower too. The chicken's wing,
Yes,
you know?
I also think I really I love looking at all the different parts in a different way. I think if you actually look at this correctly, watch this. Like, I think you could also just do something like this. I don't know if it's going to work for sure, but we'll try it.
Ooh, look at that.
That's, you know, I mean, you're utilizing it just in a little bit different way. And it doesn't necessarily go with those, but I feel like if you maybe look like, yes, like what you're doing right there, if you mix them together, you'll have something kind of fun. And it's
Yeah, I mean,
just to use your imagination, especially if you're doing stuff like this with kids. They'll see it for, you know, first and foremost. It's great. So just again, some other little fast, quick, fun ideas to utilize these pieces and parts in different ways that you may not think about right when you know, first see them. Oops, Butterfingers over here.
absolutely. I mean, the pieces and parts, that's the fun part about it, is like trying to make them into other ways to use them, you
That's
know.
so cute, Elizabeth, how you did that stripe piece. Okay, we have a couple questions. Somebody says, what colors are you using? So I am using, I'm pretty sure, I don't know if she's talking to me or you, Elizabeth. I am using Derwent Inktense sticks. I'm also using Daniel Smith watercolor sticks. And then we were also using a Lyra graphite water soluble stick. And these are things I use all the time with my art foamies, and a little spritzer mist bottle, you know, mister bottle, to just sort of get the art foamies. You don't want them really, really wet, but maybe just a little bit moistened, and then you can color on them and transfer your color. Somebody else was asking about my samples, and I did want to pull this out and share this with you because I think it's something that you'll all really love, and it really goes along with. It's funny that Elizabeth and I both are just always, or not always, but often on a similar wavelength, because I too did mine as little stickers, but I made canvas stickers. So if you have any sticky back canvas, because I actually wanted to try to make kind of a bigger painting, because if you look at the chicken and the rooster in the pieces and parts set, okay, they're rather large. So I mean, they're not huge, but they're, you know, they're sizable. So this is an 11 by 14 canvas. Okay, and many of you also may or may not know that I'm vegan, so I really didn't want chickens looking like they were gonna you know, become chicken nuggets. So I made myself a custom art foamy, because sometimes I can cheat and do that. That says "We Are Family." And I did a bunch. I actually did pull out some sticky back canvas, and I stamped in black gesso a bunch of the pieces and parts. Okay, so I took my scrap buddy and I loaded it up with black gesso. Okay, and then I took my pieces and parts and I loaded them up this way with my black gesso. Okay, and then I stamped my pieces and parts onto my canvas in black gesso. And then I just took my acrylic paints and I went over them using Elizabeth's chickens and roosters and chickadees as just my base layer. That's one thing I really love to do, sort of the way Elizabeth used her blue chicken and blue rooster as her base layer underneath her collage bits. I used the black, you know, the dark image as my base layer, and then I just began painting over it. Of course, using the base layer lines to achieve these results. Okay, so here you can see is my chicken face and body, and then here I have it painted up. Okay, so it doesn't hold the exact, you know, it's not a literal translation of the image, but again, using it as my base layer. Oh, I love that garden already. Oh, I wish I would have done that on my on my canister. I don't know how many of you also, I mean, I am going to pull this back out in a minute and show it to you all together, but I don't know how many of you got to see my canister set that I started when we did Lori Siebert's launch of Lori Siebert's Art Foamy collection, but I had to finish it off. I repurposed an old set of canisters, okay? And they're aluminum, but they were just all kind of messed up. I was going to throw them away, and then I decided, no, I really needed these canisters. And so I went ahead and painted them with white gesso, and then I stamped all over using bright acrylic. And I definitely decided on my large canister that Elizabeth's chicken and rooster needed to be on there. So I'm really excited about this set now. It is in my kitchen, and I am going to use it for my flower. I'm going to show you a picture of it all put together. And there it is, if you can see that okay. I'm really tickled with the way that it turned out. Can y'all see that okay? Really excited for this repurposed set that was about to go in the trash. Anyway,
That's awesome.
it's super fun.
And also the neat thing about the foam stamps is the flexibility for a shaped surface like that.
Yes, thank you. They do. I mean, I'm not going to lie. I still did not do the absolute best stamping. But I was happy with, the looseness of it. It was fine. And it's my own kitchen. I'm not trying to sell it or anything, So again, one really fun thing, thank you so much, Jim. And I'm so sorry for not saying hello to you. I'm so happy to see you. And Linda Weber is here too. What color I hope I already answered Linda's question. Oh yeah, I did. Okay, good. All right. Oh, Elizabeth, is that the ink pads? Oh my gosh, that looks great.
Yeah, it's the ink pads. And the interesting thing that's happening is that they still have some of the graphite on them.
Yeah.
So they're getting gray mixed in with the ink pad, which is something that, like, I'm sure if I planned it wouldn't work this well. But isn't that making a neat color?
Yes. That's why I was asking.
I mean, I just clean them off. KP, what's the best way to clean the surface of the stamps?
So a couple things, and I know when they get really grungy, okay, because they do need to be cleaned, especially when you're going to change colors, you don't want them to get muddy. So generally, if it's something pretty, not too sticky and sort of a light coating or whatever, I will use just baby wipes or damp paper towels and blot them off until all the color comes off. If I have a lot of acrylic or like ink that's thick and viscous and it is starting to muddy my stamps, I will take them to the sink and I use my scrubby soap. Okay, I want you all to know I generally do not advocate for scrubbing your art foamies. You need to be careful because they will, tear up, especially if they have any fine lines. But if you have a lot of flat surface like these do, as long as you take your scrubby soap and you're very gentle, you get them soaped up and you gently scrub them, flat. You're not like going into the, into the surface too much. It works great. And then I just blot them off and let them dry. Okay. Because it is important to have them semi-clean in between just so you're not getting them all muddy, especially when you're using black and graphite and stuff like that. Right.
Yeah, and so mine are a little muddy right now because I'm using black and graphite, and my ink pads, the surface of those need to be wiped off too. But it's creating kind of a neat, it's a whole different feeling than this one, which is lots of bright, clean colors from when everything was clean. I kind of like it, it's kind of got like a muted, kind of less vibrant feeling to it. And that's the pieces and parts, and the way that they're not, once you get the hang of them, they're not hard to put together. It's just the first few times.
Yes.
Like a puzzle.
Right.
But now I've got it.
Coming
back in here and embellishing with markers or colored pencil or pencil, all kinds of different stuff has been a lot of fun. Especially these chalk markers with the graphite. I really like that.
I got to get some of those chalk markers. I don't have any.
You would like them because they're opaque like the Posca pens, but they're water soluble. So again, if you come back in here with a paintbrush, they'll blend out. So you can soften the edges, you can turn them into a wash.
I
Um,
I really like how sort of I don't know how what's that word, kind of stark they are. You know, they're very flat.
Yeah, they're flat, they're matte, and they're opaque. So
Mm-hmm.
you can see how well they went over this brown craft paper. You know,
Mm-hmm.
they're really bright on the brown craft paper. So yeah, and you would like them because, like I said, you can blend them out. I stamped with them, but they weren't the best for stamping with. You know, I think that there's other things that stamp better. They were kind of too pale. So.
Oh, but I love the way those inks are looking on there. You know, I haven't even broken out my Moonlight Duos on them at all. Shame on me.
Oh, I love the Moonlight Duos because they have the well, like I said, they need to be cleaned, right? Let's get a relatively clean one. They have well, none of them are clean. They have the white side and then the colored side, and you can use the white side to either lighten it up or make an ombre or add white. It's just they're really super cool. But everything now in my pile here has got gray on it,
Do you
so I
need
got to clean.
you need some new Moonlight Duos, or do you need some new inks like to re-ink
I'm
them?
No, they have ink in them, but these are the only colors I have. So if you've got like a pink or a purple or some
Well, girl, I have
pink,
every color.
I think I need some pink,
Call me.
pink or orange or warm
I
colors, with the
have a
exception
lot
of
of
this
color.
one. These are all cool colors. Yeah, I'll put in my order. I love them. I use them. I love using these for envelopes and cards, like I said. But the other thing that I've been doing a lot, KP, is I make name tags for my class, for my workshop. Let's see.
You're so good.
And I stamp on these tags, and that's a lot of fun. And then I just stamp something in the yellow and let people write their name on it. It gives me nice, but stamping on tags would be great for gifts and all kinds of different things. So the tags are fun too, and that would be a good opportunity for the pieces and parts. Um, these type of things, wouldn't it? On
Yeah.
there,
Oh my God. I am so excited. I want to make a shirt out of these chickens too. I think it would be cute
or just
because
a
they're
little
so big.
chick guy everybody loves so much. Let's just put him on a tag and make them for a gift. Isn't that awesome? And just, I buy these from Amazon and they're like 400,000 of them for $20. So they make great little uh gift tags or whatever, all kinds of different things.
Yes. Oh, and well, people just love making. They're a great little base for your art, you know?
Yeah, 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 they are.
So I was just doing this while we were talking just to show how I may go over and uh, paint this. Like to kind of scrape out some of the lines. And then I too, sometimes I do fun things with the little eyeballs, like maybe go ahead and close this off here and look at that. Take a little white gesso here, and I'm just using white gesso because I had it on my table. Let's do it. Eileen says, is there any type of mediums, color or otherwise, you should not use on your art foamies? That is a great question. And I will just be really honest with you. I have not found any so far. Now, I did have somebody say they tried to stamp art foamies into like hot, I believe it was like hot wax. It ruined the art foamy, okay? But as far as mediums, I have not found any that don't work on them. I have not tried any oil paints or anything like that. But of course, I'm not an oil painter. I don't, um, yeah, I don't know. So I can't honestly answer to that. But there's no other acrylic or watercolor or um, I've stamped into all sorts of the golden mediums, such as molding paste, fiber paste. Can be a little trickier to wash off, but it does not hurt the art foamy. The only thing I will recommend, and I've said this, lots of times, is try not to let your acrylics dry on your art foamies, because it will doesn't ruin them, but it will make it so they don't stamp the same and they won't take your water media or your watercolor very well anymore if you let the acrylics dry on them.
Yeah, when I'm using them with acrylic, here's what I do. I have a dish basin of warm soapy water on the table, and after I stamp it in acrylic, I just toss it in the dish basin face down so that it stays wet.
Yes.
And then I take it to the sink and I use that scrubby sponge to clean it. But in the meantime, until I can get it to the sink, I don't want it to dry on there. So I just put it face down in that basin of water. And that works really well. Then that way there's no, rush, because yeah, absolutely you don't want the paint to dry on the surface, because it makes them crusty, and then they don't stamp as well because they get a hard crusty surface and not a porous, soft, squishy surface. So
Yes, and so one thing about art foamies, especially when they're new and clean and fresh, like it takes the watercolor so well. That I would say is the main difference, really between most any other sort. Like even like obviously stencils do not take water. I mean, you can watercolor with them, yes, and you can get fantastic results, but obviously, there's implications there because you don't want the water going underneath the stencil. The stencil actual material, the mylar, resists the water. Same kind of with rubber stamps, but that's the beauty of, or one of the really beautiful things about art foamies is the way that they take that water media. So you don't want to ruin that. It puts a barrier if you have a crusty coat of acrylic, right?
absolutely, yeah. Yeah, and it just doesn't work as well. So here I'm messing with those chalk markers, and like I said, you can blend them.
Oh, yes. I love that. I love the opacity of those. I have to get some of those.
Yeah. Yeah, they're pretty cool. I bought this vintage color set, but they also come in they're all, they come in all different kinds of color combinations, and yeah, so they're fun. They're a lot of fun.
So I hope you got a chance to see. I just put a little white gesso right over that base layer. I used the end of my brush to sort of just scrub out or scratch out a few little feathers or whatever, a little pattern. And then I'm taking my nickel azo gold and I'm just gonna sort of, it'd be a little bit better if my gesso is dry, which it's not all the way, but that's okay. Anyway, so.
I like that. The gesso over the top of it is really cool.
Yeah, so and then your opaque colors just paint right over your dark, your dark gesso. It doesn't have to be black. It could be Payne's gray. It could be, you could stamp in acrylic, a nice, whatever. If you want color, like a dark purple would be beautiful. And then, paint over, and then you're getting those dark outlines is what's happening. So then, as you can see, you can cut out all your pieces and parts, and then you could mix and match. So I obviously did it in the same colors so that I could show you how I did that. But like if I had painted these in real bright, fun colors, then it would be, just interesting and fun to mix and match and see, which you like with which better, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. It's just there's so many mediums you can use them with. It's fun to just sort of experiment. But you're using and tell us about those canvas stickers.
So I have been really enjoying. I've been doing. I mean, I'm working on a class right now too, and it's I haven't really come up with a name, but I'm doing a lot of like canvas collage and doing lots of pieces and parts of things, not necessarily chickens, but uh, on sticky canvas, and then using them to apply to larger canvases. It's a really fun way to build up sort of layers and still be using canvas because love the effect, just all the little you know that that canvas texture, that it just is so inviting. I don't know, there's something about that I just really love, the canvas texture. So I think it's really great to do these, and you can these would look great on your craft paper cards too.
Yeah, they would. But those canvas stickers, I mean, could I just stick one of those on my laptop too?
Yeah. Here, yes, anywhere.
I mean, how fun would that be to have a little painting stuck on your laptop?
Right? I know. I'm been really into the whole idea of making canvas stickers, and some big ones too. I recently did a Frida, and oh gosh, I don't know. I've been going kind of crazy, canvas sticker crazy.
That's awesome.
So I've been
I love it.
share that with you all here. And you can get sticky back canvas. I make my own, but you can buy it already in packs that's already has sticky stuff on it. So, and it's great if you just maybe you don't have time to do a lot of painting, at the moment, but you have a few minutes, you could just stamp out all your imagery, have it there, and then just go back later and do your painting or coloring, and then cutting. Even what you're doing right now. I mean, not the side part, but like your stamping with those chalk markers would be great on this too. It doesn't have to be acrylic paint.
Yeah. It could be anything, right?
Yeah.
And I just stamped these with the it's also the water soluble graphite, so I was just gonna see how it was all gonna blend together like that. So that's kind of fun.
Your tags are so cute already, so fast.
Right? You're getting one of these for your birthday. You're gonna get this tag on your birthday.
Okay. Well, my birthday's not till April. Maybe for Christmas instead.
Oh yeah, maybe for Christmas instead. That's right. Yeah. So how fun are these for little tags to tie on gifts?
I wanted to show you. I mean, this isn't really your chickens, but I was super excited about how I did my edges. I took the edge of my canvas, and I don't know. I was just looking for any stamp that was a square, and I don't even have it here now. But I used. Do I have it? Oh no. Shoot, where'd I put it? I can't find it now. I'm sorry, but I used the little window from, I don't know how many of you know about my little city block set. It makes little cities and towns. I just took the little window, which is just a little tiny square art foamy, and I did because I really wanted to have a checker border, and so this made it so fast and easy. I literally just took that
Oh, I love the
square
checkerboard.
and just went boom, 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 boom. And I didn't have to worry about, like, they're all pretty much the same size. And, it's, of course, still not perfect, but oh my gosh, it made such quick work of that.
That's really nice. I like that. I like the irregularity of it and the edge of it. Yeah, I have seen your house blocks. They're a lot of fun.
Yeah, those are super fun. In fact, I was gonna make a little house in the background, and then I was like, "Oh my gosh, I don't have time for all that. We'll just play with this canvas a little bit because I wanted to do a little bit of. Oh no, wait, that's the wrong color. I want to do a little bit of dark in my corners before I hopefully try to lay this out. Where do you get the sticky back canvas? So Jim, I'm not sure exactly. I would just probably Google or go on Amazon. I know that Ranger used to sell sticky back canvas. I don't know if they still do because it was Claudine Helmuth, and I know Claudine is no longer with them. So, but maybe they brought it out under a different name or something like that, or maybe it's just a Ranger, you know, signature item now. I'm not sure, but I know that you can find it, and it is pretty. It's nice because it's lighter weight. It's not a real heavy canvas, and I used to just get it in pack. I think it was like a pack of like, I don't know, 6 sheets for, a few bucks. It wasn't expensive. But again, you can also just get, pads of canvas like this. Okay. And it is a canvas pad, cotton canvas pad. And then you can, put, double sticky back tape on it. Or of course, whatever adhesive that you like to use. Yeah, you can make your own. You can do that. Are the chalk markers? Oh, Lisa wants to know if the chalk markers are on your Amazon site.
They are not, but I would be happy to add them, Lisa, because they are a lot of fun, and that is where I got them. So I will do that as soon as we're off. I'll add the ones that I got, because I got these ones. I really like them, and they're also like these kind of muted kind of colors. They're fun. I mean, I love all bright colors, right? But these are like vintage, I think, and it's kind of a nice palette. But yeah, I'll add them on. Thanks. Oh. So I'm just using the glue stick to put these on here.
I was wanting to deepen my edges, but I don't like this stamp for that. I need to blend it a little bit better. Oh, are you using your little chicks?
Yeah, I'm gonna use the gel printed ones and the chalk markers and put them on tags.
That's good. Actually, I like that. Okay. I just wanted to deepen my edges a little bit. I'm going to take a little bit of that away. We did bleach with ArtFoamies and DQs. Yes, Terry Moore was in Diana's class, and they did bleach on the ArtFoamies, and these would be great for that too. I mean, most all ArtFoamies are, but I will say some of the ones that have the bolder, more solid surface generally are better for that. So these chickens will be so, so cute. I would love to see a t-shirt design or something like that with them.
Now for the bleach, do you I think it was you told me or somebody told me that you use a like the gel bleach bathroom cleaner so it stays on the surface of the foamies better?
I don't. Everybody does it different. I don't really, not sure what everybody does. I know we did it at the Queen's Ink, and I believe Patty Euler's class. I believe that she just used, I think, regular bleach. But when I do it, I use what's that? The stuff. It's like the gel. It comes in a little pen. Because if you do it with the gel, you can put that gel on a scrap buddy and apply it with the scrap buddy. So I like doing it that way.
Yeah.
Right.
Wow.
I do not say that this painting by any means is done. I want to do something with the background, but I'm going to go ahead. I think I am going to go ahead and stick these on. And then later when I finish now, just so y'all know, I'm going to repeat myself again. I am going to be sort of on a staycation for a few days. I'm not going to be doing my live streams for about the next 5 days. We are not having regular Art Foamy Fun Friday tomorrow, but a week from tomorrow, we will resume with our Art Foamy Fun Friday. I literally have not taken off in like 2 years, so I need a few days off to kind of reset and just mostly just to work and catch up. But I also just going to try to take a little bit of a break and get myself sort of caught back up. So no Art Foamy Fun Friday tomorrow, but hopefully you'll all be back next week. And I will I will work on this and take a picture, and then of course share it with Elizabeth and with all of you. Well, I won't share it with Elizabeth right away because she's going to be busy in Italy, but I
I will.
will.
I will be busy in Italy, but I'll be thinking of you.
It's okay. I'll share. I'll have stuff to share with you when you get back.
Awesome. So I'm just having fun over here making all kinds of different things.
Me too, but now I can't find my feet. Oh, here they are.
I can't find my feet.
So, Patty Euler is still here with us. Maybe you can answer that question, Patty. Did you use regular bleach on a cushion or like on folded paper towels? I believe if I'm right, Patty uses like folded paper towels and then puts bleach and then uses those sort of as a pad, like as a stamping pad. And then, like I said, I used the gel bleach and I used it in my Stamp Buddy and I applied it that way. So I don't know if this is the way they're going to go on here. I just want to do something in the background. So I'm not sure yet. Maybe I shouldn't stick them on yet, but this is how they're going to look pretty much.
I love that. I love that gesso effect a lot. That gives like so much interesting depth. And also the blue over the black on the rooster is a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's fun. And of course, golden acrylics, you can't beat them. So the coverage, of course, we just have to get that in there because we love our golden paints, of course.
Oh my gosh, the pigment load in those paints is like just so good.
Yeah. And the nice thing is that even when you get into what you would consider to be thinner, like less, like a fluid paint, the pigment load is not less. You saw
Right.
the coverage of that black on, with that red is beautiful. One coat, no smearing around, stuff like that. So, and then of course, I do have this sticker, double sticky back on there. So we'll just peel those off and stick them where you may.
Yeah, that's super cool.
And so that's it. I'm going to turn the camera back around. Are you done playing and having fun too? Don't forget those.
I think
Don't forget that's my Christmas present too.
All day.
I know. Well, you can't. You have to go finish packing for Italy.
I do, yeah. All right, let me see if I can turn my camera around without messing it up. How about that?
There you are. It's good to see you.
There.
Yeah.
I can't.
Oh my gosh, I love your earrings and your necklace.
Oh, thanks. I can't guarantee that this bracket will keep me straight, but how's that?
Yeah. So, are you looking forward to going tomorrow? Are you barely refreshed from your vacation? What else you got going on this year?
I just rented a space to teach in Sacramento, which I said I would never do. I'm not going to teach at home. I only want to travel, blah, blah, blah. But I did. I did. I was like, well, I took a watercolor workshop last weekend with David Lobenberg. I love his work and he's local. And we were just chatting, and it was downtown Sacramento. And he was like, Elizabeth, you need to teach locally at least once, because look at me, I'm teaching all day and I'm going home to sit in my chair and sleep in my own bed.
Yeah.
And I was like, so I added that to my lineup next year. But yeah, I'm going to Italy and and that's September. And then October, I'm going to Sedona. And then that'll be the end of my running around until the end of January. So I'm going to have, I can't use the term time off because, I have 1,000 million other things to do, but I'll be at home.
Well, it's always nice. I mean, you're still running around like a chicken with your head cut off. but it's still good.
We're going to work that in, but we're not cutting anyone's head off.
No, not even a chicken, especially not.
No, especially not.
Rini is here, and Patty Euler, so I don't know if everybody got to see the comment, but she said yes, soft scrub with bleach is what she uses, which I for some reason didn't remember, but thank you for that, Patty. So yes, Laurel says, I love this set and it's so great to see you both creating live. It was really fun. I wish we could be back in person, maybe next year, hopefully. I'm
I
hoping.
know we didn't take the time.
Yes, and I'm
We
hoping. Well, I really still did. I'm going to be honest. I didn't really still want to travel this year. I mean, I think I got in the mindset too of not traveling, and we've been so busy here, and now, I used to have a lot more help, and now I don't. So, which is
What
kind
happened to all the help? They
of,
all went on the Great
yeah,
Resignation.
they just. And
Members.
yes, and also keep in mind we sold Rubber Moon in March, and so we really just didn't need it quite the same as much. I don't know. It's not like I don't need help, but it's workable this way. But I just can't be going all over for a week, weeks at a time. So anyway, hopefully next year I will do a little bit more, and I would love to get together and get Makey together in person.
I know that would be so much fun. It was so fun when you came to visit me
Yeah,
in Florida.
I
Did
loved
that.
it. So, and I'll have to make a California trip one of these days. So, anyway,
Yes.
it is so fun to see you and hang out with you, even if it has to be far away and on Skype. But I don't want to keep you longer because I know you have so many things to do, and I really appreciate your time and always your wonderful ideas, collaboration, and your amazing art. So, thank you.
Well, these came out way better than I even expected, and
Oh,
I think I even said in my YouTube video that I did last week for them, you made it happen. I sent the designs, but you flipped them and enlarged them or reduced them and took the legs, made the legs shorter, made the thing longer. I mean, it was definitely a team effort because KP tweaks the designs to make them work as she knows they will as stamps, and I just draw them to be fun. So I love the way that we collaborate, and I love the way that these came out, and I thank you for having the faith in me and bringing my designs to life. I love that.
wow. I
Fun.
can, yes, ever since we started working together, it's just been uh, I don't know, a match made in heaven. What can I say? Anyway, so have a great trip, a great safe trip, and when you get back, we'll do some more stuff. And since I know you're going to be home all the way from October to January, maybe you could even squeeze in another new art from me or two.
Yeah. Why not? I'm always I got the iPad now, and that's a lot of fun to draw
Yes.
on.
Oh my gosh. I know you should see mine. It's like nothing but full of art foamy designs. So anyway, Renee says, love your stuff, Elizabeth. Everybody, thank you all so much. There's way too many of you to mention you all by name again, but I want to just say we love you and we appreciate you and we thank you so much for joining us. We look forward to this, and I can't believe it's already over now. I'm looking forward to it for weeks. Anyway,
I
so go buy some chickens. Don't forget the code for 20% off is LD22. That goes all the way through the weekend. So don't wait till Monday to place your order. Oh, and I'm going to turn the camera back around. Elizabeth, I don't want to keep you longer unless you want to see what I'm going to show them. We have a freebie and a limited
yeah.
edition stamp to show. And so I just really quick, because it is the first of the month, and we do have a limited edition that is only 50 of these are made. So if you love one, grab one. This is designed by moi. It is called it's called something still life. I can't remember my own name, but it is a
Oh,
small
love
still life
that.
stamp. And so it's all one piece. I colored it up individually using my watercolor sticks and stamped it and watercolored it. And this is the limited edition. I think it's called Whimsy Still Life or something like that. Something Still Life. I don't know. Anyway, that's that. And then the freebie when you buy $15 worth of Art Foamies during the month of September is our little ghosty, and of course he must be transparent because I can't find him now, even though I made sure he was on my table. But there he is right there. And so
That is so
when
fun on the
isn't he
black.
so cute? So when you order all of Elizabeth's chickens and her chickadees and her rooster, you'll definitely get this little freebie too. So
How fun.
yes, right. The freebies are fun. I think everybody really likes them and looks forward to them. I know. I just love getting free stuff when I order stuff, so I hope everybody loves that too. So Anyway, that's it. That's all we got for you, my friends. Thanks for staying, Elizabeth. I love you to the moon and back. And thanks everybody for everything. And we'll see you soon. Have a great weekend. I'm going to start my staycation now too.
Enjoy your staycation.
Thank you.
I'll talk to you later.
Yeah, you know what I always say, right? Stay safe, stay sane, and stay makey.
I love it.
Bye. Mwah. Bye, everyone. Thanks for coming.